Well, 30-year-old Kyrie Irving has until June 29th to decide whether he will opt out of the final $36.5 million contract that he has for the 2022-23 season and become a free agent. According to one NBA Hall of Famer, you heard of him before, his name's Charles Barkley, he would not pay Kyrie. Chuck says, if it was me, I would say, hey, guy, we can't trust you. What are you going to do? We're going to pay you that $36 million contract you got for next year to see if you act right. If you don't act right with $36 million, you definitely ain't going to get $240 million. I'm not going to give you a 4-year extension for $200 million because we can't count on you. That is Charles Barkley. For those who don't know, Irving has appeared in just half the possible games since arriving on a max deal in Brooklyn in 2009. He missed 123 out of 226 regular season games, so dead smack in the middle. This past season, he missed 53 regular season games, mostly due to his refusal to adhere to New York City's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. His part-time stats didn't help the Nets, who had a disappointing season and were swept out of the first round of the playoffs by the Celtics. Kyrie continues to have a strong relationship with superstar teammate Kevin Durant, and it is being reported out there that the Brooklyn Nets do plan on working out some type of deal with Kyrie Irving going forward. I don't know if they're planning on giving him 4 or 5 years, but maybe like a 2-3 year situation and see if they could kind of meet in the middle. Yo, we can't commit to you for 4 or 5 years. You're too non-decisive, but will you be willing to do 2-3 years? That way you're not out of the loop for just your career going forward past next year. You got a little bit of security, but we can't give you a lot of security. That's what it looks like. That's my guess of what Brooklyn will do. We shall see. But y'all let me know, would you give Kyrie Irving a long-term extension? What would you do with Kyrie? Again, he has an opt-out right now. He could be a free agent this offseason, but nobody really expects that because what is the market for Kyrie Irving? Think about it. I don't see Kyrie Irving going and playing for, let's just throw a team out there, the Houston Rockets. I don't see him doing that, not one bit. I don't see Kyrie Irving playing anywhere down south. He's not a down south guy. What situation right now makes sense for Kyrie Irving, a guy that clear as day likes the East Coast, from the East Coast, clearly is big on friendships and relationships? I don't really see a team that I could see Kyrie playing for. Now, if you're the Brooklyn Nets, do you use that as leverage and say, yo, bro, we ain't paying you an extension just yet because where you going? Why are we giving you $200 million? Can you go get $200 million elsewhere? How about you go find $200 million on the market somewhere else, and if you get it, then we'll match it. If not, let me know the most that you got, and then we'll go to the negotiating table again. If the Brooklyn Nets wanted to, they could call Kyrie's bluff. But do you want to do that? Do you want to already upset a gentleman that, if nothing else, you can see is a very much of a thinker? I'll say that as nice as I can. Kyrie overthinks everything, presumably, right? Do you want to really play that game with Kyrie? It seems like he's a guy that needs nurturing, love, care, babying, coddling, versus going the route of straight businessman and saying, yo, Kai, you missed too many games. It's one thing for you to be out with injuries, but it's another thing for you to not get vaccinated. It's one thing for you to not get vaccinated. It's another thing for you to sit out randomly because of them storming the Capitol a year ago, of people storming the Capitol, some idiots storming the Capitol a year ago. Like, we can't deal with that. You're too non-committal to this Brooklyn Nets team, and we pay you. We're not non-committal to your contracts. We pay you. So there is a game that could be played here with Brooklyn and Kyrie. If the Nets really want to play it, I don't think there's a market. From what we've heard and reports out there, teams around the league are scared out of their mind to give Kyrie Irving any type of deal because they don't believe he'd show up to work 9 times out of 10. He likes Brooklyn. He's from that area. He likes Kevin Durant a lot. That's a close friend of his. Where would he really go? That's the question that the Nets, they're asking it. It's just I don't know if they want to play that game. Because if you play that game and you lose Kyrie, if you lose him, number one, you still got him under contract for next year if he decides to opt in by the end of the month. And then if he does come back to your team, he might just damage the team going forward, which with a Ben Simmons that's already got a very low temperament and motor, do you really want to have a non-committal Kyrie Irving around that? And if Kyrie opts in, doesn't get the long-term deal, his trade value will be at an all-time low around the league if he starts wilding again next year. I just don't think there's a market for Kyrie. It's up to the Brooklyn Nets if they really want to play that game, because they really could play that game.